Angelina Jolie is an Academy Award-winning actress. She often appears on many Most Beautiful Women lists. Amazing historical life story is always highlighted. We know about his spectacle life story. Born June 4, 1975 in Los Angeles, California, USA. Birth name: Angelina Jolie Voigt. Nicknames: Angie, Angelina J. Height: 5 feet 6.5, 1.69 meters. Angelina Jolie is an Academy Award-winning actress who became popular after playing the title role in the Lara Croft blockbuster movies, as well as Mr. and Mrs. Smith 2005, Wanted 2008. Salt 2010, and Maleficent 2014. Off-screen, Jolie has become prominently involved in international charity projects, especially those involving refugees. She often appears on many Most Beautiful Women lists, and she has a personal life that is avidly covered by the tabloid press. Jolie was born Angelina Jolie Voigt in Los Angeles, California. In her earliest years, Angelina began absorbing the acting craft from her actor parents, Jon Voight, an Oscar winner, and Marshall and Bertrand, who had studied with Lee Strasberg. Her good looks may derive from her ancestry, which is German and Slovak on her father's side, and French-Canadian, Dutch, Polish, and remote Huron on her mother's side. At age 11, Angelina began studying at the Lee Strasberg Theatre Institute, where she was seen in several stage productions. She undertook some film studies at New York University and later joined the renowned Met Theatre Group in Los Angeles. At age 16, she took up a career in modeling and appeared in some music videos. In the mid-1990s, Jolie appeared in various small films where she got good notices, including Hackers, 1995, and Foxfire, 1996. Her critical acclaim increased when she played strong roles in the made-for-TV movies True Women, 1997, and in George Wallace, 1997, which won her a Golden Globe Award and an Emmy nomination. Jolie's acclaim increased even further when she played the lead role in the HBO production Gia, 1998. This was the true life story of supermodel Gia Karangi, a sensitive wild child who was both brazen and needy and who had a difficult time handling professional success and the deaths of people who were close to her. Karangi became involved with drugs, and because of her needle-using habits she became, at the tender age of 26, one of the first celebrities to die of AIDS. Jolie's performance in Gia, 1998, again garnered a Golden Globe Award and another Emmy nomination, and she additionally earned a SAG Award. Angelina got a major break in 1999 when she won a leading role in the successful feature The Bone Collector, 1999, starring alongside Denzel Washington. In that same year, Jolie gave a tour de force performance in Girl, Interrupted, 1999, playing opposite Winona Ryder. The movie was a true story of women who spent time in a psychiatric hospital. Jolie's role was reminiscent of Jack Nicholson's character in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, 1975, the role which won Nicholson his first Oscar. Unlike Cuckoo, the box office. But when it came time to give out awards, Jolie won the Triple Crown. Girl propelled her to win the Golden Globe Award, the SAG Award, and the Academy Award for Best Leading Actress in a Supporting Role. With her newfound prominence, Jolie began to get in-depth attention from the press. Numerous aspects of her controversial personal life became news. At her wedding to her Hackers, 1995 co-star Johnny Lee Miller, she had displayed her husband's name on the back of her shirt painted in her own blood. Jolie and Miller divorced, and in 2000, she married her Pushing Tin, 1999, co-star Billy Bob Thornton. Jolie had become the fifth wife of a man 20 years her senior. During her marriage to Thornton, the spouses each wore a vial of the other's blood around their necks. That marriage came apart in 2002 and ended in divorce. In addition, Jolie was estranged from her famous father, Jon Voight. In 2000, Jolie was asked to star in Lara Croft Tomb Raider 2001. At first, she expressed disinterest, but then decided that the required training for the athletic role was intriguing. The Croft character was drawn from a popular video game. Lara Croft was a female cross between Indiana Jones and James Bond. When the film was released, critics were unimpressed with the final product, but critical acclaim wasn't the point of the movie. The public paid $275 million for theater tickets to see a buffed-up Jolie portray the adventuresome Lara Croft. Jolie's father Jon Voight appeared in Croft. One of the Croft movie's filming locations was Cambodia. While there, Jolie witnessed the natural beauty, culture and poverty of that country. She considered this an eye-opening experience, and so began the humanitarian chapter of her life. Jolie began visiting refugee camps around the world and came to be formally appointed as a Goodwill Ambassador for the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR. Some of her experiences were written and published in her popular book, Notes from My Travels, whose profits go to UNHCR. Jolie has stated that she now plans to spend most of her time in humanitarian efforts, to be financed by her actress salary. She devotes 1/3 of her income to savings, 1/3 to living expenses and 1/3 to charity. In 2002, Angelina adopted a Cambodian refugee boy named Maddox, and in 2005, adopted an Ethiopian refugee girl named Zahara. Jolie's dramatic feature film Beyond Borders 2003 parallels some of her real-life humanitarian experiences, although, despite the inclusion of a romance between two Westerners, many of the movie's images were too depressingly realistic. The film was not popular among critics or at the box office. In 2004, Jolie began filming Mr. and Mrs. Smith 2005 with co-star Brad Pitt. The film became a major box office success. There were rumors that Pitt and Jolie had an affair while filming Smith. Jolie insisted that because her mother had been hurt by adultery, she herself could never participate in an affair with a married man, therefore there had been no affair with Pitt at that time. Nonetheless, Pitt separated from his wife Jennifer Aniston in January 2005 and, in the months that followed, he was frequently seen in public with Jolie, apparently as a couple. Pitt's divorce was finalized later in 2005. Jolie and Pitt announced in early 2006 that they would have a child together, and Jolie gave birth to daughter Shiloh that May. They also adopted a 3-year-old Vietnamese boy named Pax. The couple, who married in 2014, continue to pursue movie and humanitarian projects, and now have a total of 6 children. Spouse Brad Pitt, the 14th of August 2014 present, filed for divorce, 6 children. Billy Bob Thornton, the 5th of May 2000 to the 27th of May 2003, divorced. Johnny Lee Miller, the 28th of March 1996 to the 3rd of February 1999, divorced. Remarkable. Full lips. Tattoos. Memorable history. Niece of Chip Taylor. One of People magazine's 50 most beautiful people in the world. She is extremely close to and protective of her older brother, James Haven. He often accompanies her to awards shows, and she used his name, or at least his memory, as inspiration in the Where's Jamie scene in Girl, Interrupted, 1999. has the letter H tattooed on the inside of her left wrist, which is a reference to two people she is close to who have this letter in the names, her brother, James Haven, and Timothy Hutton. She got the tattoo when she was dating Timothy, but since their breakup she now says it's only for James. Has a tattoo of the Tennessee Williams quote, "A prayer for the wild at heart," kept in cages, on her left forearm. Was married to Johnny Lee Miller in a black leather pants and a white blouse. On the white blouse she painted her husband's name in her own blood, across the back. Tattoos include the Japanese sign for death, two pointy black American Indian symbols, a dragon, and a large black cross. Daughter of John Voight and Marshallyn Bertrand. Collects knives and has an interest in mortuary science. Angelina and her brother, to whom she is very close, publicly spoke out to deny false rumors that the two were having an incestuous love affair. 2000, started modeling at age 14 and had a childhood dream of becoming a funeral director. Named the world's sexiest woman in Swedish magazine Café. Jolie means pretty in French. Appointed Goodwill Ambassador for the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees in Geneva, Switzerland after her visits to Sierra Leone, Tanzania and Pakistan. August 2001. Introducing Angelina Jolie, in opening credits of Love Is All There Is, 1996, suggests delayed release as Jolie already had at least two major screen roles by 1996. On her father's side, she has German and Slovak ancestry. Her mother was of approximately one-half French-Canadian, or one-quarter Dutch, and one-quarter Polish descent. Angelina also has a remote Huron ancestor, her maternal 8 times great-grandmother, Catherine Annan, who was born c. 1649, in Ancienne-Lorette, Quebec. Angelina's paternal grandparents were Elmer Voitka, later Elmer Voigt, and Barbara Camp, while Angelina's maternal grandparents were Roland Frederick Bertrand and Lois June Gowins. Personal quotes: "The 70s was such an extraordinary time for film and politics, and I was born in the 70s, so I think you're always interested in when you were younger, and what your parents might have been like, and what that time was, and your reference point, but I found it a really compelling time for art. And there was a certain freedom in films at that time. In certain films of that time I think also discussed very heavy things." For next episode please subscribe.